Yep, Jesus is Lord. The devil is defeated. You can trust the Word because the Word works. Now, in the book of Hebrews, it says, the Word did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. So you can hear it, but it won't do you any good unless you receive it and act on it. In James, it says that faith without works is dead, being alone. See, and some people are saying things like, well, we're redeemed from works. You're redeemed from the Old Testament law of keeping the law. That kind of works, but you're not redeemed from having to believe the Word of God, receive the Word of God, and then do your best to act on the Word of God. I started talking to you yesterday about I'm redeemed from losing my mind. Now, Jesus shed his precious blood, it's what the Bible calls it, precious blood, for my sake. And he shed it about 10 different times in the New Testament, and each one of those times was very significant. But one of the places in the book of Matthew, it says, they planted a crown of thorns and pressed it on his head, so that when those thorns went into his head, he was shedding his blood for your head. I like to put it this way. My mind's redeemed by the blood of the Lamb, and in Revelation it says we overcame him, the devil, with the words of our testimony and the blood of the Lamb. So he shed his blood in his head so that your head is redeemed. I have the mind of Christ. I want you to get that. I have the mind of Christ. And the Bible very plainly tells us that we've not been given a spirit of fear, but of love and of power and of a sound mind. Now I want to just give you a little testimony. We had a very, very good friend of ours now, but he'd gotten out of the Word. He had a situation with his family, and he quit going to church for a long time, and he's in his 80s now. And when he first got back in the Word, he really mentally wasn't hardly there at all. He'd tell you the same story over and over and over, and he was really quite boring just to be around. But when he started going back to the Word, got involved in the Word, and got involved in the church, and started planting the seed of the Word of God, God began to renew his mind, and for 83 years old, the man's sharp as a tack, because the mind is renewable to the Word of God, and healing comes through the blood of the Lamb. So Jesus shed his blood when they put that crown of thorns on him, so that you didn't have to have dementia, so that you don't have to have Alzheimer's or Halzheimer's or anyheimers. You don't have to lose your mind. So quit saying, well, you know how it is when you get old. The first thing you lose is your mind. No. I get better with age. Psalm 115 says that I'm on the increase. So my mind is on the increase. I can think better. I can communicate better. I'm sharper than I've ever been. Age has nothing to do with it. What you believe in your heart, say with your mouth, is what you're going to have. So remember, Jesus shed his blood on that with that crown of thorns so that you could be the redeemed and you don't have to lose your mind. Say it. I have the mind of Christ. Say it. I have the mind of Christ. His mind is in me. And say this. I've been given not the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. You don't have to lose your mind. Jesus paid the price for it. I got to go. Remember, the devil's a liar. Jesus is Lord, and the Word works.